How many Juulers do you guys know?
I have a fair amount of friends at Juul.
I have a few friends who Juul as well. You know, if I'm out at a bar or a club or something, I see them out a lot.
Do you go to bars?
Do you go to clubs? Parties?
Next.
Kylie Jenner to the foyer. I have a little surprise for you. Is that a chicken?
It's a Juul.
Here are some facts about the Juul.
Launched in 2015, Juul takes up about 70% of e-cig sales. The company is valued at $15 billion. When you smoke a Juul, you're inhaling nicotine and other chemicals.
Hold on. Can I just mention that the Juul is a flash drive looking vaporizer. One device sells for $34.99 and the accompanying 4-pack pods cost $14.99. Tax depends on where you are and shipping is free.
Paige, if I hear one more thing about
Nicotine is also a stimulant and a relaxant, and it's addictive, especially on a developing brain.
Right, I get it. My brain is still developing. That's because I'm younger than you and you're gonna die soon.
Juul says their device is for people who are trying to quit cigarettes because cigarettes are the leading preventable cause of death in the US right now. And a lot of people who were previously addicted to tobacco now have said, this Juul has saved my life. But former smokers aren't the only ones Juuling. Now a lot of teens are too. Teens who probably wouldn't have smoked cigarettes in the first place since rates were down. And one Juul pod has about as much nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. So Juul could have this whole new generation addicted, creating life customers.
Yeah, and it's become totally inescapable. It felt like suddenly one day it was like everywhere. I'm either seeing someone Juul or I'm stepping over a Juul pod, or maybe I'm at a bar and I see someone wearing a Juul as a chic accessory. And you know, it makes me wonder, like, where did Juul come from? Juuls are just vapes, they're just e-cigarettes.
there's a specific brand of e-cigarette.
The technology is nothing new. They were characterized as sort of these types of dudes who have these huge vapes and they do tricks with them. Shout out to Chris James. You can watch his video about the Vape Nation. But the Juul did something different, and it shows. They're cool and they're slick, and as a gadget, they fit in really well with my iPhone, with my Apple Watch, with my laptop, with my Google Glass, with my clothes, with whatever. And they don't seem dangerous or unhealthy at all.
They're also very memeable all over social media. The FDA can try to crack down on them as much as they want, but they get all this free advertising from Instagram.
Yeah, but that was also the case with cigarettes. They were viral in certain ways. Of course, they're from a time where virality is not the same thing as now, but they were a symbol just like Juuls are today.
And it's not just Instagram. I've actually been on the Juul subreddit.
Yeah, we saw. At work.
It's either a new Juul design that someone is like carving into their Juul, skins, tech decks, fan art, gripes. The flavors aren't as good as they used to be. They're not getting crackly boys anymore, about how they want to just rip fat ones. And it's incredible that Juul has been able to cultivate such a like cohesive subculture in like the digital space.
Still the idea of doing something that you're not allowed to do, that only adults can, yet it looks different, so it's seen as this like huge shift away from cigarettes of older generations.
I remember being a kid in school and getting just told the most hyperbolic anecdotes about how cigarettes were going to ruin your life.
What I find now is that cigarettes aren't that cool anymore. You know, the actual physical aspect of the cigarette, the design and look, it's antiquated. Cigarettes are the one type of litter that always seem okay. Like, you see your friend throwing out a pack of chips or something and you're like, whoa, 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 calm down. But cigarette butts are one of the worst pollutants. They get in the ocean, they screw up landfills, they're horrible.
But does that necessarily mean Juuls are eco-friendly?
No, it doesn't, because they use lithium-ion batteries and have these disposable plastic pods.
In April, 11th Senator sent an open letter to Juul Labs saying they are putting an entire new generation of children at risk of nicotine addiction and other health consequences. On September 12th, the FDA declared youth e-cig use an epidemic.
So they raided Juul's office late September in a surprise inspection, taking thousands of pages of documents.
There's a lot we don't know about it. The conclusions of the studies done so far have been mixed, but some reports are pretty alarming. For instance, the 2016 Surgeon General report said e-cigs harm youth brain development. An NYU study found evidence of a possible link between e-cigarettes and heart disease and cancer, but it's gonna take a really long time for us to be certain about the effects of these things.
And in the meantime, Juuls are rampant in schools.
School district is banning flash drives, and the reason is that district officials say they look just too much like a popular vaping device.
There's a school in my hometown of Annapolis, shout out to Broadneck. They removed the bathroom doors because people were smoking in the bathroom so much.
And on the other side, Juul is attempting to curb this too. They're pledging $30 million to try and prevent youth juuling.
They actually changed the name of the cool cucumber pod to just the cucumber pod. And they did that for the mint one too, which I'm sure will totally work.
The FDA announced intense restrictions on the sale of many flavored e-cig products in response to research finding that sweet flavors are more likely to get teens addicted to e-cigs, and studies showing vaping as a gateway to smoking cigarettes. Juul announced it will stop accepting orders of their flavored pods from retail stores. Menthol, tobacco, and mint will still be available. The rest will only be sold online. With new purchasing restrictions in place, Juul has also announced that it will delete many of its social media accounts and work to stop promotion by others.
Will all this stop people from buying Juuls? Who knows?